And welcome on back everyone to Total War Warhammer 3 in part 16 of our Mother Ostankya Immortal Empires campaign. In today's episode, Kislev heavy war sleds are holding the line against a pretty nasty force here with Norska, whom is fielding one Marauder Chieftain, of course, and then 4 War Mammoths, whom are currently under the effects of the Agony Succession that I have placed upon these Skin Wolves that are armored. We've got 2 sets of Agony Successions down. One on the Marauder Champions, one on the Marauder Berserkers, and these are both the kind that are diminishing their physical resistance, and then the other 2 are on the Skin Wolves that are the extra fire weakness. They should be taking a ton of damage from any kind of fire sources that we've got. Let it begin. We've got a kind of screen wall of sleds. All of them are going to be equipped with, if it'll let me show you, all of them are equipped with the Unburdened Steps. They've all got 20% more speed, Strider, and Devastating Flankers. They don't care about any kind of woods or any terrain penalties. They will be moving at 86 speed the entire time. Allies are coming on over from the other side, while Kislev and his first 2 sleds are moving on the Mammoths, who are also being blasted upon by the Little Grom. 2 Little Grom each are blasting at 2 of the different War Mammoths to try to weaken them as much as possible, and they're doing a very good job dodging me. Except for that one. Blinks right off their chest. Each shot doing a pretty hefty amount of damage. I'd actually like to see some friendly fire implemented, especially while they're trying to run away. But doing a pretty good job dodging my Little Grom, but every hit is severe. Kislev is really just to slow anyone down that gets a little bit closer. So we've got all of the war sleds working together on these Skin Wolves, which are their other most dangerous units. Once these regenerative anti-large fellows are gone, there's not much left for the Norska in terms of damage. Another werewolf bites the dust. Mammoths are starting to close into the line now, where things get a little bit more spooky. Fireball sent their way, just to get a little bit of damage on. And then some frost spells to slow down anyone moving on towards. Since both Mammoths are hit, they're going to slow down just a little bit, allowing our Streltsy to actually get some fire in. They're closing the gap, and that is still far too much health. Trying to use our bear sleds as a battering ram, and they just kind of get bogged down too much. You definitely want to get a bear's bulwark. You're going to be trying to use them as a proper smashing force. Speaking of, Little Grom is still singing as the Mammoths are reaching our Streltsy. Trying to get a side charge, and they're going to do terrifying amount of damage. Gosh's Hearthblades have their song, and they're charging on in, hoping to rout it away before they take too much in return. And I love to hear all the gunfire, though. We've got bear sleds all over the place trying to lead different groups on merry chases or just smash into the now isolated skirmish units like these hunters, who will be little treats for our bears. A couple of the sleds did get bogged down, but if you get caught by the Mammoths, it's a horrible time. One swing will nearly take down an entire sled, and the second swing absolutely will. We've got Patriarch and war sleds just wreaking havoc in the back line. Anyone on foot is having a terrible time. Hearthblades and Things of the Woods have pretty easily dealt with Team Marauder Chieftain, who thought he was tough, but he's already running for the hills. Kislev is now just searching for an additional target, but there are none because the enemies of Kislev flee. Since this is an island battle, they shouldn't all be immediately taken out, so we're going to want to try to chase down as many as we can, but marvelous victory against a pretty terrifying force. And the first Kislev Great Mammoth Hunt ends in success. 2 of the Mammoths do manage to escape, but we'll see if we can't run them on down here. We'll go ahead and grab the extra gold.
Faithless but worthless.
Faithless but worthless. Seasoned Campaigner is Kislev now. More movement range, perfect vigor, and less attrition. Which is always such a good trait to acquire. We can go ahead and leave Olaf over here, and we are going to land at Norden and claim this for Kislev. Hello, Festus. Would you like to meet Kislev?
Help! Kislev!
Apparently not.
Help, Father!
The doctor has been retired once more. Giving us a little bit more replenishment rate and a vigor loss reduction. The Kundites are resigned to history.
Supreme!
Serena Katerina was going to try and do that herself, but we have
Chaos!
beat her to the punch.
First of the bear cult.
First of the bear cult. We are going to go ahead and grab... Since Sultan is a super patriarch, he's going to be able to have all 3 of the different battle prayers on top of Ursun's Roar, so we're going to go ahead and grab Thor's Battle Hymn on top of the Celiac's Lullaby, so we can charge in with extra charge bonus and 40 more melee attack. As for Urkalisk, who's been getting some lovely side skills here, we'll make him a man of the people. Doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and grab for him firing drills. I thought, Urkalisk, what do you have? Bears and sleds? We'll go ahead and come on back in because Eyesight was failing me there. We'll come on and finish all skilled craftsmen and then grab a rally.
A symbol of my power.
Can't be wasting our skills like that, and then we'll go for an additional point into Witch Brew so we can keep healing the lads. Utilizing it
Guardian
as
of the land.
your main healing spell is pretty fantastic. Just True Flight for his Ice Witch, and then for the others across the sea there, we'll grab Scouting and boost income. Replenish troops and corruption cleansing. Same thing with the other 2. He is all maxed out on his corruption cleansing, but Eeyore now can be dedicated to one of these unique traits. So we've got Healer. He's going to be giving us more replenished troops, cooldown reduction for Celiac's Lullaby, and more hit points. Likely what we go for here. Indefatigable Leader. So less corruption in the area, cooldown for Dodge's Song. Thunderous Order, more leadership aura size, and then Thor's Battle Hymn cooldown, Ursun's Roar and Frenzy, and then Harsh Survivor for being mean to other people. I guess also keeping our own attrition down by a huge margin. Bearkin is intriguing. This Frenzy's awesome. Let's go for Healer here since he's got Celiac's Lullaby. Armor for this Patriarch would also be great. And I think I'm actually going to trade out the other item there, the Frostglaive, for... Yeah, the Frostglaive for the Brass Cleaver. Perfect stuff. Hedge Wizard will work for Hannah Merciless, an Initiate for less corruption. And anything else we can pass out? Vagabond. And more line of sight. Never hurts.
Chosen Drużyna.
Perfect. Well, now that Urkalisk has reclaimed Silverator, we can get that upgrading again. We were basically here just a little bit later on. I had decided to send Kislev across the sea from Castle Alexandrinov to hit Olaf there on the sea first, and then Festus if we managed to keep casualties at a pretty small minimum there, which we did. Upgrades to Forest. And everywhere else we're able to. So Arnheim, we will go ahead and take the lower city ramparts there. The lower ramparts of the Kislevian city are wide and squat, yards thick to withstand the onslaught of northern invaders. They're gonna smash their foreheads against the wall till they get through, so you just have to make it a couple feet thick. It's not that hard. Here in Bejafin, let's grab ourselves some breastworks and kilns and more growth as well. Weissmund is directly on enemy territory, so we're going to grab the Palisade walls. I'm not going to go for the upgrade of the Kislevite colony. What I will do is take a look at some of our lords here and see if we can get any more upgrades to their armies. So Alexei here, definitely can afford it now.
Accept only loyal men.
Got you bears. Bears, Akshina, and Frostworm, which is not really what you should be fielding, is it? For your personal guard, I'd like to grab 2 units of Griffin Legion. We'll combine Griffin Legion with Feral Bears. And then we'll do Love the little Grom cannons, but they're quite expensive. I would love to see actually a cap on them as well, so you need to have the tool makers to actually build little Grom. You know, don't give them the ideas, but it would be a little bit more thematic, wouldn't it? There's only supposed to be, I think, 7 of them left. We get our Flying Knights, Royal Pegasus Knights, or normal ones. What's the difference? Extreme stat boost, and they are blessed by the lady. Rail Guardians are what have received the insane bump not too long ago. I think they got reduced down a little bit, but yeah, let's grab some Grail Guardians. Give ourselves a scary cavalry line here. From Clan Angrund, we can snag ourselves a unit of flamethrowers. From Reichland, nothing exciting. From the Golden Order, we have Knights of the Blazing Sun to go alongside our Grail Knights. And then nothing exciting from Karak-Katrin yet. Jade Court is also a little bit lacking at the moment. We'll be plopping in their firing rockets as soon as we can. Snag anything from our other allies here? I mean, some pretty decent units all around, but now we'll go ahead and save. He's got a pretty scary army coming in. A really expensive one, too. Good grief. Hopefully we can afford it. That's all of our heroes and lords can do for the turn. We've probably got a couple heroes that we need to move on around, so we'll let the notification bar zoom us around the map here. I'm not going to worry about Ulmer there. We're just going to steal technology. Fiendish thought.
Drużyna.
Shouldn't talk about yourself like that. Now even better is stealing technology, which is awesome. You can do some stealing here at Volkstrad, or not. Knowledge failed to be taken for greater good. As a Mira, we'll go ahead and send after... Oh, we can try to take down Isabella. I'm assuming that's going to be a tough sell. You failed. At least you're alive.
Patriarch of Kislev.
This Patriarch. Hinder replenishment. I love that Elfric is still running around here. That's still a dangerous army.
I am Constantin.
Alright, Anton, can you come up here and damage things? Break their stuff? Not super useful, though.
Through faith,
So instead, we'll just have you be a scout for us.
searching out blaspheme.
Velasi will send back to perhaps join up with Gestalten.
Execute any
5 war sleds is a lot to keep up with, so I might kick one of them out or hand them over to another army. That way we can have a little bit more easily micro-controllable army. I guess the light district here would be great, but let's hold off. We will skip through. Pass out any commandments that are yet unissued. Then we'll watch Mazda Mundi. Bring it, you toad. Our turn once more, and the Urson Revivalists are going to get back to work, building up a brand new outpost, and the western provinces are no more. Same thing with Broken Axe, so it's not all bad. Ryan's going to start getting aggressive again, and Talika is back and ready for duty. All excellent changes. Ostankya.
I see.
How much more do we need to activate Recreant Spirit? We are down to just 12 more Spirit Essence, so let's go ahead and consume that by making more Agony Succession. Welcome, welcome.
With sweat and onion.
An additional Ember Dread. And some Unburdened Steps, since we used so many of them there with all of our sleds that last battle. Worked out awesome. Fragmenty and Spirit Away. And now, next turn, we'll have the Recreant Spirit. Elman is here to defend Dieterschaffen. Oh, you poor fool. We could likely wipe you out with a auto-resolve.
No.
No might be right. That is a lot of trolls.
Who calls?
What's defending Dieterschaffen? Just some marauders? That's not a threat. Trolls are, though.
Fools.
Oh, a close victory with medium cat. You poor fools. We will actually take this auto-resolve here for Mother Ostankya.
They will be better
Not bad at all.
dead.
We will simply occupy Dieterschaffen.
Watchtower here.
Indeed. And in a single turn, we'll be about ready to fight the West battle, no problem. Let's go for even less upkeep on Ostankya's troops.
Who calls?
Gretel will give, I guess, better protective charms. Deadly Blade for the Golden Knight. Where's that hag witch that we had previously with the leak is back? There you are.
Hag
We need you to come on up and join Ostankya.
Stamp across the mile. Bolstering against
Sounds good to
chaos.
me. We'll slot in a hunting camp here at Dieterschaffen.
Say hag at your peril.
Alright. Prague, we can go for more upgrades. The Woodworkers Guild sounds awesome. 20% less construction cost and 20 or 2% less. We're getting ahead of ourselves. I thought this was... Either way, 2% less faction-wide is still fantastic. Halabheim will upgrade the timber mill, as there's nothing here really that can threaten that at the moment. Let's get our other elite armies out moving.
Drużyna ready.
So Kevin,
For the glory of Kislev.
Ludwig von Karstein is now raising up a force here in Eschen. Pretty strong one too. Hoping the Empire can hold.
Defender of Kislev.
We'll move up and maybe hit Waldenhof. Let's go into
Double
March
pace.
stance
Champion of
and
Kislev.
come up here. I'm sure that Vlad can't reach us, because that'd be a nightmare.
Have your soul.
There's no telling, is there?
A wicked thought. By the mother, as expected.
We'll take the informant, and we'll go ahead and take you out of March. Come on down next to Essen.
Follow me into the wild.
Well done on succeeding there. What's her technology rate at? 310%. Beautiful stuff. As soon as the Festival of Urza is done, we'll grab the Spirit of Kislev, which will buff all of our characters' leadership. And then we'll check on, it's probably Erengrad.
Hidden guardian.
So one more point into Specialist. Stuff. Come on up to our Lords and Heroes tab.
A noble choice.
Find some more claims to be had. Mazdamundi's now here at the Fallen Gates. Not a fight we want to take. Mazdamundi himself is not really all that threatening, because he's just got a bunch of Saurus. Saurus are scary, but we can still isolate and destroy them, especially with magic. So let's go for... Swiftwing gives us 40% more charge bonus. Let's go ahead and grab Swiftwing, who maybe get some cheeky charges with some feral bears or things in the woods. Who has more bonus? Looks like things. 46 is insane. Alright, Urkalisk. Time for
Let
ambush.
us advance. This mission requires guile.
Guile and stealth.
Highborn son.
Lexi, let's go ahead. So it's going to be 300 from each of these guys. So it'll drop us down to making close to 600. And then 500 more, because they're knights, aren't they? You know what? Since the Bretonians are going to be so expensive, we probably don't want to use them, even though I've already started recruiting them. Let's switch over. Be clever about it. And instead grab ourselves some rocket launchers. Rocket launchers for Kislev.
I am truth.
Gestalten could send you after Salzamund, but I think it'd be a better idea to go after Olaf here, just finish him off.
Suffer for eternity.
Fool thinks he's gonna go after Alexandrinov. Not on your life.
To fail or flee is blasphemy.
Indeed. Poor bear for Casimir now, so Gestalten's army continues to become more and more terrifying. And we'll just plop Gestalten then into March stance.
March.
And get moving up here towards the lair of the Troll King.
The orthodoxy sees all.
Let's go this way, because Winterpire tends to be their capital.
hag.
Skill points for Tamara will give you wound.
I have.
Who else has him? Stalton himself. Alright, well in that case, let's go for a secondary point into... Now let's get all of his prayers first, and then we'll start upgrading them.
Betrayers! Betrayers all around!
Prayers all around.
Only I spread truth.
Tenacity on Egior. And then we'll switch over to Fervor and then Enduring Devotion. Or once they drop below... No, there's not actually a health threshold here, just... I have more melee defense, 4 extra leadership, and immune to psychology as long as he's fighting. Which is great.
Would cackling please you?
Up here, try to steal some tech.
Bacon for great
You failed. Congratulations, you won. Hold off on doing anything else in terms of recruiting. We'll find other lords or heroes that haven't been moved. Hasn't been able to take out Isabella. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, so we'll just bring you on down. You keep an eye on some of the last vestiges of the undead then. Skip over all of our outpost upgrades.
Lord of
Those
Since there's no more
Unflinching.
trade we can sign,
we are one people.
we'll just go ahead and wait.
The Patriarch will not burn us. Not while we are useful.
Age and wisdom do not make me a monster.
The Slayer King wishes to parley. He wants our help against Crooked Moon. For 4,000, I will indeed help. Right, the turn falls back to us. Grummus was found ambushing. Same thing with Igot Claw. Stalton the Master Mason, and this gathering is an important date in the Ungol calendar, on which the strength of the Bear God and the protection he gives the common folk of Kislev is celebrated citywide. 10% more research rate. And now we've got the Recreant Spirit Quest. Where the dead roam, their spirits also wander, practically begging for someone to make use of their wretched souls. Enthralled by dark magic, a broken spirit may be called forth that is one part of a deathly army of specters, intent on hunting their summoner's foes. Haunting. Yet first, their moldering corpses must be dealt with. The rotten undead still walk the earth, guarding the spirits yet to be set free. Send them to their second deaths, for only then can their spirits be bound to an afterlife of endless service. Bad guy Ostankya strikes again. So we have... Alright, looks like all sorts of a nasty combination of vampire counts and coast, with reinforcements expected. Hopefully not an ambush for our side, though.
Obey!
So Stalton will have you keep going into March up towards Sarakov. Didn't look like there was anything near there that was very scary for you. Here at Alexandrinov, we'll go for the Roadhouse for even more growth. The Witching Lure Empowered we could use on, well, I would say hopefully some Demons of Chaos. We'll be getting 1,200 from Uzkulak, which is kind of concerning. Not making the most money down there. 1,800 out of Vladdy. So that's going to be the call unless we see more here. 700. Can't see how much the Skaven are making. And then the lizards aren't making much at all. Yep, Sylvania it is. The weak are so easily broken. Indeed.
Gullible fools!
Make a few more Agony Successions here. Another Fragmenty. And then I think a Whiff of Madness for any kind of spellcasters or heroes. And then Unburdened Step with what we have left. That shall work.
Warding Kislev.
We're missing a few soldiers. Let's see if I can't pull ourselves out of Dieterschaffen a little bit. We can add in our Hag Witch of Beasts and
Wise
take to the
woman.
field.
Inspire the conscripts with
Fire
frugality.
the conscripts. We'll go better. We can get an Ice Witch Lord as well. Welcome, Pavla Bebchuk. We'll also get better bows for Ice Guard. 10% more strength. Now, with whatever gold we need to use. Not be the wrong button, lad. We'll come on in and battle the Recreant Spirits. Pretty much just Operation Deal with the Heroes. Let's get to it. And we are allowed to curse them? Oh, how unfortunate for you guys. Let's go Fragmenty on this Morngol, Fragmenty on this Clown, and on you. I'll go with Madness on Otto, that way once I catch him, he's going absolutely nowhere. And then we will Agony Succession on you two. Kinda like this. Additional Fragmenty for Big Papa Boat. Then Gate of Thorns. Or do we want to just kind of save? Over on other side, I'll just give Ostankya Bear's Bulwark, and then Unburdened Step to our Hag Witches. Beautiful stuff. Onward to victory. Oh, I do love me a good quest battle. I actually wish we had a few more of them in-game than we already do. They're like a lovely, deadly puzzle to figure out.
Yet an old woman stands here, fearless before the foe. Now ask yourselves, do you fear the enemy more? Or me?
Ostankya giving our troops a less of a pep talk and more of a you know what's going to happen if you fail talk. We've got all sorts of undead screaming across the battlefield where our spiders are going to engage the Morngulls, which not generally a fun time for them. Things are already kicking off quite quickly though, so we'll slow stuff down so I can kind of explain. Spiders are ripping into Morngulls. They actually have magical attacks, so they'll be ignoring all of the normal resistances that Morngulls have and applying a damage over time to kind of counter the heals they have. Got the Frostworm moving on these Sirens, which is a fight they absolutely are not going to enjoy. Big Frosty Worm is always superior, especially when rolling with anti-heal troops. Already dealt with a couple of the first units, but Sirens are always capable of dealing quite a bit, so we'll see. You can see they've got a ton of forces kind of coming across, but they are nice and spread out, so the likes of this Necrofex Colossus aren't going to be quite as effective once we get our bears that are hiding back in the woods across the field. Be a lovely surprise. We can pretty much, though, just send Ostankya straight in with all of our big beasties and rip these heroes apart. The damned paladin has already fallen. Looks like On Death has summoned an absolute ton of damn knights errant on both sides here, so we need to quickly adjust, otherwise our Akshina are gonna have a horrible day. What do you do when the ghosts bust you back? Crusaders charge on it as well. They are thankfully in the woods, but let's see, do ghosts have Strider? They do not. Oh yes they do. Because they can actually charge the woods like they're not there. Silostra's faction is actually pretty solid. Fortunately for her, I despise Silostra. We've got some aerial things in the woods ripping apart the middle line of chaff while our bears get to work on the Necrofex and his master. You may be a giant boat, but are you scarier than a couple polar bears? The answer is no. Absolutely not. And the polar bears destroy the Necrofex. In fact, the entire army breaks, and like that, we have ourselves a one quest battle. Fairly anticlimactic, actually. There's a couple other armies moving on in to reinforce, but we crushed the main body so fast that all there is left is the single bloated corpse. And so we'll send Mother Ostankya and the Golden Knight on in just to finish this poor fool off. Sorry there, Bobbert. Not today. And a concerningly easy battle against Otto Grigorovich there. His undead were absolutely no match, even though they brought in a whole heap of damned knights errant and knights of the realm. There was apparently also some Morngulls and bloated corpses that were supposed to come on in there to help, but since we butchered the captains and I guess all of these heroes so quickly, none of that actually showed up, which is great. We'll go ahead and take the extra replenishment.
Those foolish enough to strike a deal with a hag find that death is merely the beginning of an unending serfdom. The power to call upon these restless spirits has been found. A hex to haunt unknowing foes, now in the Coven's hands. The 5 forbidden hexes have been assembled. Each piece a scattered fragment of a grand and sinister whole. Together, they reveal a most baleful hex, capable of bringing calamity to an entire race. They call it Malediction of Ruin.
Malediction of Ruin. So we have one final battle to win before we can do, or are we just able to use this already? Hang on now. That's Recreant Spirit 1. We've already have access to Malediction of Ruin. The armies of Kislev's enemies crumble, burdened by the darkest of magics. Excellent. So next turn we'll be able to use Recreant Spirit, which allows you to summon an army consisting of things in the woods, elemental incarnate of beasts, and bears will be summoned on the target settlement's territory every other turn. For 5 turns, so that's 2 whole armies. We'll have to see just how elite these armies are. I guess we could make them stronger by going for the Indomitable Spectres here. Armies summoned every other turn will be stronger. Yeah, let's do it.
Such strange newness.
Then who is going to be the target of the Malediction of Ruin? Who is our most dangerous enemy here? It's probably not the Legion of Nagarond. I'm betting it's going to be Nagarond. The 4 Dark Elves, I think, got cursed in our last one, too. Exiles of Khorne are not doing very well. And maybe Valkia the Bloody. But at this point, weakening her is going to be strengthening Malekith. So yeah, Malekith is going to be the target. For the greater good. Ostankya will have you go into March stance, because no one is scaring her at this point.
Heed my hexes.
We will go for the final point into Quartermaster here.
Curdling milk.
Let's start passing out points into Specialist then.
Warding
Until we have unlocked
Kislev
Mentor.
from chaos.
Person's protection is missile resistance. He doesn't get shot at that often, so let's go for a Deadly Blade, and then Armor.
If you want something done, send a woman to do it.
The Lika's spell book is all maxed out, so it's just those agent actions now.
Drużyna.
For Arena, we're going to head on back down and start grabbing, I think, Curse of Iran here.
This is why Kislev endures.
For our brand new Boyar, we'll give him Inspiring Presence for a trickle of experience for the lads.
This is mine by right.
This is by right. We can have one more unit of friendly troopers. Karakadrin could be bringing us... Do we wait for the flame cannons? I think we do. Gives us a really, really strange army. We have 2 flamethrowers as well. Let's go for all the Iron Drakes. All of our incantations are already created. Yeah, we'll have you move on a Waldenhof. Just weaken them a little bit more here. And if Vlad comes after you, so be it. Decisive win.
Feel my wrath.
Let's just go ahead and sack the
They
settlement.
must cower before Ursul.
And then fall back into friendly territory.
This land is ours.
Dealing as
Noble
much
of
damage as
the
we can there.
Oblast.
So we'll come on back in, grab full plate armor for him, and then hopefully Curse Frontier here in next turn. Reload skill is going to be great. For his Patriarch, we'll go for Fervor. And Ulrika, how long till we have Blight of the Skaven? Rank 14. Quite some time.
Kislev is triumphant.
So let's continue to go for the Penumbral Pendulum for that damage.
Defender of Kislev.
So we might as well send out
The
Our heroes just steal tech when we can.
frost
If there's a success, awesome.
Maiden of the frost.
Maiden of the Frosts. Blizzard there. 100% armor piercing. It's not very much damage, but it stays for quite some time. It will blend apart any kind of demons or vampire blobs.
Hag witch.
Come on back over and steal some more tech from Templehof.
Stopped.
Well done. We'll have this Casimira come on over and try to curse mark up
Nation shall
Marcus von Karstein. Because their auto-resolves are not going to be nearly in their favor with winded vigor every time. Right, Mazdamundi has moved on in. That is awesome. So we'll have ourselves a series of pretty large battles here next turn. Let's move on in and engage.
Fight for Mother Kislev!
Unless auto-resolve is kind here. No, it's going to give us no such luck. So Mazdamundi. Rolling skies are going to be an issue for our flyers, but he himself has none, so we can pick off those skeet javelins pretty quickly. It's got nothing else really that's very susceptible to bats, but yeah, such is the way. Got Apotheosis. Banishment. So Banishment's going to be his best spell. But he only has 2 of them. Poor Mazdamundi has a terrible spellbook. A lot of strength though, so we're going to want to keep him well away from our lines. Thankfully our lines aren't exactly lines. We've got our very mobile army here. Let's go Ember Dread on Kevin / Urkalisk. And then we'll grab Frost Wyvern's Toil for our Frostworm. Frostworm, Frostwyvern. Beautiful. Start off the next episode with a duel against Mazdamundi. Thank you all so much for stopping by today's Mother Ostankya episode. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like for the like god and a sub for the sub tone. I'll see you all in the next one.